The 5 things I learned helping hundreds of applicants match into residency in the US. Hello friends, if you're new here, my name is Malki Assad, plastic surgery resident in the US and the founder of The Match Guy. Our team at The Match Guy helped hundreds of applicants match into their dream specialty in the US. And we saw a pattern of 5 things that helped applicants achieve that dream. And I will share them with you in this video. Before we get started, if you're applying to The Match, make sure to take advantage of the all-in-one match application resources for Match 2025 applicants. It's a list of phenomenal resources like personal statement examples, ERAS application templates, LORs, letters of interest, resources for interview preparation, and all of these are fully for free. And you can get them by going to the free resources page on the Match Guy website or click on the link in the description below. And now, let's get started. The first thing is spending time in the US. It makes sense, right? You want to match into residency in the US, so you need to spend some time in the US to make that dream come true. Yet we see many applicants who don't spend time in the US before applying. And there are many reasons for that, including financial situation, or they don't want to risk it, they don't want to leave their job in hopes of matching in the residency, and if it doesn't work out, they lost their residency in their home country. But you have to understand, if you want to optimize your chances of matching in the US, you have to spend some time in the US in the forms of research or US clinical experience, volunteering, doing some work here. And we believe that has multiple advantages, not just to check a box of I've done US clinical experiences, I've done research in the US. It helps you get letters of recommendation from people in the US. It helps you understand the culture, helps you understand the system, identify whether this environment is a good fit for you. I've seen some applicants who came to the US and they spent some time doing rotations and research, and then they felt that this is not the best fit for them and they went back to their home country. That is probably the minority of the people, but it's still important to understand the system that you're going to be spending 3 or 4 or even 7 years of your life in before you commit to that step. You'll also notice that program directors are reluctant to take people who have not spent any time in the US compared to those who have spent a year doing research or some time doing US clinical experiences or worked in the US in healthcare or some other jobs. Because many believe that the group that spent time in the US will be better suited to interact with US patients, understand their needs, because they've spent some time here and they understand the culture differently. I totally get it that there is risk associated with leaving whatever you have to come to the US, but this is life. There is risk in any decision you make, and you have to commit to something to be able to take it to the best. And if you need someone to talk to, someone who's experienced with the process, to give you an insight of how the system in the US looks like, how they're experienced with the residency process, with the matching, with life in residency, go ahead and schedule a residency advising consultation with our expert team. We have advisors from different specialties who can give you an insight of how life in the US looks like that can help you make that decision whether it's worth it for you to come here or not. And I'll leave the link for that in the card above and in the description below. And because your satisfaction is our priority, this session is 100% satisfaction guarantee, which means if you're not happy, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. Now, the second thing that we noticed play an important role in people's chances of matching into residency is connections. And there are multiple ways to build these connections. Connections doesn't mean necessarily that your parent's friend or your relative is a doctor in the US. You can build your own connections through US clinical experience. So if you come for electives in the US, you start interacting with US physicians, with residents. These are connections you can leverage when you apply to the match. And the same applies for research. For research, you even build stronger connections because you're spending longer time period with these people. You're helping them advance their career, and you're also advancing your career by getting publications, doing research projects. And these relationships become gold when you apply to the match in the form of people reaching out on your behalf to push for your application, in the form of letters of recommendation. When you go to meetings and conferences, these people might introduce you to their friends from other programs, and these again play a key role in your chances of matching into residency. The third thing is starting early. If you knew that you wanted to come to the US early on in your medical school, you started preparing for step 1, step 2 CK, OET, you start planning your US clinical experiences, your electives. You do research electives in US institutions in your summer vacation. That will set you up for huge success in the match. However, I totally understand that some people decide on coming to the US later on in their journey, And in that case, you have to start the preparation process as soon as you make that decision. And if you're not sure about that decision, you have to make that decision early, because the more you delay it, the more you're losing on very valuable time to start building your US residency application. And you'll notice in this video, I'm not talking a lot about step 1, score of step 2 CK, year of graduation. These are known facts. If you have higher score, that's definitely better than getting a lower score. Having no attempts is better than having an attempt. Being a fresh graduate is better than having a 10-year gap of graduation. So these are known facts. So try to optimize these things in addition to these 5 points I'm mentioning in this video. The fourth tip I have for you today is be focused. We've seen some applicants who apply for 2 or 3 or even 4 specialties because they want to increase their chances of matching to residency. And you can imagine how their application looks like. I've talked to an applicant who was applying for internal medicine and pediatrics and pathology and family medicine in the same application. And I told them, do you have letters of recommendation for IM? At least 3 for IM, 3 for FM, 3 for pediatrics and 3 for pathology? And they were like, no, we don't have that. So when you apply to internal medicine and you have 1 letter from pathology and 1 letter from pediatric and 1 letter from IM, your application won't be as strong as if you have 3 IM letters. The same for US clinical experiences. If you have your US clinical experiences all over the place, it's not in a particular specialty, in that case, people don't take you seriously. They don't think that you're really interested in that specialty, and that's a huge red flag in an application. People need to believe that you're really interested in this specialty to give you that spot, because there is no bigger nightmare for a program director other than a resident dropping out in the middle of their residency and now they have to find someone to fill that spot. So I highly recommend you stay focused on a specialty that you're interested in. If you're unsure about the specialty, you have to make that decision and try to build a very strong application in that specialty so you can optimize your chances of matching that specialty. However, as in life, there are always exceptions. For example, a plastic surgery applicant might consider applying to general surgery as a plan B in case they don't match into plastic surgery. So each applicant situation is different, but this is just a general advice. And if you want an individualized advice, I highly recommend you reach to one of your mentors who can help you make that decision. And finally, seeking help. From our experience helping hundreds of applicants match into residency, we've seen multiple scenarios of applicants submitting subpar personal statements, not as good ES application, because they didn't want to seek help in the first cycle, and they ended up unfortunately not matching, and they came back to us afterwards seeking help to match. If you're someone who have access to amazing advisors, amazing mentors who are willing to spend hours on your personal statement, your ES application, prep you for interviews, definitely go for it. However, if you don't, I highly recommend you seek professional advice from people who know what they're doing, who have been doing this for a long time, not just friends or family. Because remember, now the competition is very, very tough, and you want to optimize every aspect of your application, because losing a year of match, that's approximately between $200,000 to $600,000, which is the difference between a resident salary and an attending salary. And I myself, when I was younger, I was against the idea of seeking professional help, but now I totally changed my mind because I can probably figure it out after making mistakes or spending so much time on it. But the question is it worth it to make mistakes that might cost you years of your life, or spend so much time on something when there is somebody who's expert in something who can help me with that? And that's why we built the match application packages, 3 comprehensive packages to help you with your match application. The silver has 1 edit of your personal statement, 1 edit of your ERS application, and 1 hour of interview prep. The gold has 2 edits of your personal statement, 2 edits of your ERS application, and 2 hours of interview prep in addition to 1 hour of advising. And the platinum package, which is the most comprehensive package, includes unlimited edits of your personal statement and ERS application, in addition to 2 hours of talking to your editor, 4 hours of advising and unlimited access to your advisor on WhatsApp, 4 hours of interview prep, and match edit guarantee, which means if you don't match, we will continue to edit your personal statement and ERS application until you match. So go ahead and explore these match packages by clicking on the link in the card above or the link in the description below, or schedule a free strategy call with our customer support team who would love to take you through these different packages, our individual services, and explain to you how we can best help you. I hope this video provided you some insights on how to optimize your chances of matching outside the commonly talked about points like step 1, step 2 CK, and number of publications and objective metrics. If you find any value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your colleague who's also applying to the match and would benefit from it. Before you go, make sure to check out my ERS application tutorial by clicking here, and good luck on your match.